Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm having trouble logging in.
To Discord?
No. To my trading view. I wonder if anybody else is having problems.
I'm having trouble. I can't log into TradeAbate
TradeAbate
or Ninja Trader.
I'm having trouble. Yeah.
TradeAbate
Open. I already marked up one trade. We already got the one from overnight. What in the
Morning.
What is that noise?
If you can log in, I can't get into TradeAbate either.
I'm not having any issues.
Wow.
I'm getting an internal server error.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got the same thing.
I heard.
Okay, I'm glad it's not just me then.
Look at this.
Oh boy, look at this. Look at this.
Would you just
Somebody can look at this.
That's funny. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's funny.
Goodness.
Let's see. Is it? So we already got one trade off of here. Now let's see if we get one off of here.
I think he might go down to the 250.
Dude, I'm thinking a lot. There's a lot of stuff down here. I'm thinking those levels I shared in mentorship chat, these 219 levels, probably going to be. I mean, we might even blow right straight through those. I don't know. 219. What did that look like? That 219 is right below. Yeah, I was thinking this would be next area, but then we also have these really clear lows over here. We might just go past all of them. I don't know.
You think you can go down there, sweep, but then pump up?
See, I see this area, and I'd like to say, yeah, it'll give us a nice sweep here, but I also feel like it's gonna sweep lower. Like, why not hit both of them? So, as much as I want to take a trade, I'm gonna hold off on this one. I'm just gonna see if it goes straight down to this one. All right, I'm gonna have to turn that down. This thing is very loud.
Hey Ken, do you only use DX feed for your Addis, or do you use Ninja Trader as well? 'Cause I'm getting an error trying to log into Ninja Trader.
I'm on both. I've got Ninja Trader connected for the actual placement of the trades, and then I have DX feed for my quotes. And
I'm having a problem too, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, you're having that problem too? Okay.
A lot of people are having issues this morning. I don't know what it is, but
Okay, so I was able to take that Titan, but now it kicked me out, and now I can't get back into TradeAbate.
Oh man,
that's weird.
Oh man, I was thinking about selling at 300. I would have made the money. I didn't do it though. It was pushing through there pretty good. All right, now let me see. Where's the volume at?
Gold is looking like a flush off the London now. Let's see.
Yeah, I'd keep it. I'd be careful trading this low right here. If you guys are, I marked them up. I shared them in mentorship, but I don't know. I just got a feeling that we might go all the way. I mean, look, we have a few more zones down here, so I was thinking, like, I wanted to trade here, and I'll kick myself if it hits. but I also feel like it could just rip right straight through here. I might be a little traumatized by yesterday, watching it rip through all those levels, but yeah.
Yeah. Painted a 1 minute buy zone too on the 1 minute.
Oh, I got those things done. I need to share that. Look, this is what it looks like with the higher time frame overlaid. Where or not overlaid, but where you're only getting signals if the higher time if it appears in
Oh,
yeah, I ended
nice.
up I got it. Look at how little zones are.
Damn, look how but look how accurate they are. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah. So
Every single one of those is a winner.
yeah, so I'll
Oh
share
my
that.
God.
I'll share that or I'll
That's
update it. I should
one
say.
loser.
This is on a 1 minute, but
Wow, that's awesome. Dude. See, I would have been long off that 1 minute buy zone on if I could get in my account. Jesus. Unbelievable.
wait a minute. We'll go. Oh man. I cannot. I just freaking closed the chart on accident. I just closed the chart. I had all marked up. I accidentally clicked the X. That's unfortunate. I was about to try to take a trade off of one of these. Let me see. Yeah. 20.
Is anyone else having problems with it? Every time I put in for a trade, it says internal service error,
Yeah, everybody
server
is.
Yeah.
error.
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing. That is the craziest thing. Look, see, there's the one time you guys are having trouble and I'm not having no trouble.
I'm not having any trouble either.
Huh.
Good for y'all.
Have you placed a trade, Ken?
What'd you say?
Have you placed a trade yet?
Yeah, I took the trade that I shared with you guys in mentorship before open. That's the only trade I've taken. Just ran up to the midpoint. Let's see if we stay below here or go up above it. POC is all up at around 440, 425, between 420 and 445. Midpoint's 372, which is what we just reversed off of. Pretty hard.
Yeah, I just tried one micro on mine. It went through, but it said that failed error, but it counted it though. It let me open and close.
Yeah, let me open and close as well, but I'm not seeing the result on my trade sinker. I'm trying to go log into Tradeovate. It
I'm
might
doing it on
just be a
TradeOvate.
trade day, honestly, for me, if it's gonna be doing this.
I haven't seen anything on Apex yet, but if you have elite trader funding, they said you have to send them a message and it's not affecting everybody.
Wow. And we've been having a lot of problems lately with these prop firms, huh?
Well, I don't know if it's tied, but like I can't log into my Ninja either, Ken, which for my
I
copier.
can't even log into Tradeovate.
Yeah, I can't either one of them. I get the internal server error on both of them.
Those two are the same thing though, ain't they? TradeOvate.
Well,
and
that's you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you are. You're correct. That's why.
It's my sign of practice for the day.
Yeah.
Boy. All good.
So one of my other trading Discord chats I'm in, this free one from my friend Brandon, he said, Bro, if we continue like this, we are gonna be choppy as all hell today. It's like I think it's been like 9 minutes since open. I don't really know how you can tell that.
Huh. Yeah, I don't see any problems right now. Everything looks pretty normal to me, actually. This is pretty, besides the issues everyone's having, but we're having pretty regular price action right now. It went down, did a little sweepy sweep, easy. Man, my chart is gone. All right, I'm gonna have to set up a new one. Where was that?
I just got a thing from Trade-O-Vate. It looks like there's a technical issue with Trade-O-Vate
Yeah.
integration at the moment. We are currently in touch with the broker to resolve these issues.
I wonder what's been going on as to why they've been, because we've had more issues lately than we've had in a long time.
Well, it's all Trade-O-Vate though, right? Because it's not Apex or any of the other guys. It's stemming from Trade-O-Vate, right? On all these.
What it seems.
Yeah. Weird.
Trade-O-Vate thing, yeah.
Definitely on both of my brokers.
And I'm looking at the chart you put in the membership chat. Where did you take your first trade? Right below the London low?
Yeah, I'll pull it over here right fast. Right there. So we had we had put in a low. I see. I actually drew this and it was up here, but by the time I took a picture, it was already coming down, and so it had pushed.
It went down a little more.
Yep, it pushed down into here, but I already took the trade at that point because I was like, you know what, I'll take it right there because I was actually thinking we were going to push back up. Look at how perfectly balanced the profile is. So I was like, okay, we're working the outside edges. I was like, we're going to end up back at the POC most likely. And so I was thinking sweep and then a touch of that. And then I was, looking at these lower areas. But yeah, I got in right there.
Like 342.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your stop?
25 points.
Okay. Oh, okay. And I'm just curious, what do you take profit at? How many points?
25 points.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. In and out. Yeah. I like to just, I'm using as little brain power as possible lately because I've got so much stuff I'm working on. So, like normally, I can put a ton of energy into these in the morning, scanning, observing, looking, calling out, but I've got so much more stuff I'm working on. I'm just like, keep it super minimum, less decisions, 1 or 2 trades, and then I'll be done trading. And then right back to work. Right back to it.
Ken, it's stopping me too. It won't let me do anything on Trade-O-Vate. So
yeah, well, guys, it might just be one of those days. I mean, we've seen them before. It's been happening. I'm sure they'll get it worked out. Just, the only thing you can say.
Won't be the last.
Huh?
So it won't be the last time.
Yeah, but you know what? Look, oh yeah, I can't even log in either. I just tried. It gave me some weird long error. So yeah, that's the first time I tried to log into Trade-O-Vate. See, all of my stuff I had open from last night, so I didn't have to. My trading view, my Addis, everything was already. I placed my trade on Addis this morning, so yeah. I don't even want to risk trying to push any more buttons on here until I hear an update from them. So looks like we're on standby. But hey, like I was about to say, I'm sure things will get better, right? If they're having issues, they're going to have to fix things, and that means improvements. And if they're smart, I'm sure they'll be making permanent solutions and making sure this doesn't happen again, or at least trying their best. So hey, we take it as it comes, and we'll just have a better service when it's done, I'm sure. I hope. These are pretty much the areas that I was looking for trading. You guys, if you want to look, here, I'll just do it on my chart. Obviously, the high's up here. Now, if you drop your profile here, let me see. Can you guys hear that noise that keeps coming through here?
Yes.
Okay. Is it very loud?
It's not that.
No.
Okay.
It's not that loud.
It's an
It's like a little
alert.
beam.
It's an alert I set up on Addis, and it basically is alerting me whenever there is a large amount of volume detected in the candle. So if y'all hear that noise and you like that right there, and you see how M and Q is moving, it's there's above average volume pumping in there. So if y'all hear that noise, yeah, it's definitely worth watching and paying attention.
I think I had that set up on TradingView once. Going crazy though.
Yeah. Yeah, so this one's very specific. I'm looking for a very specific thing. Like it's just very, very specific. Like it's an average volume. So like let me see what this is doing right here. Oh, I can't trade it anyway, so I guess it don't matter. I'm just seeing if this is making a little fair value gap right here or not.
What volume set do you got it at?
It's not like
Or
that.
what
It's a cluster statistic that uses like more of averages. So it's based on actual trade size. So it wouldn't work on TradingView. It's an Addis thing. What is this line? Okay, all right. So anyway, what I was saying was at this point we've got some pretty clear areas, and these might just have to wait for these until the market until the trading starts working again. But these zones here, these are all prior session lows, as you can see. And then I'd pay attention to this area as well, and I'll zoom in on it. If we can start climbing back up right here, and I'm doing this because of this. What's that? Oh, okay, I'm doing that because of this. There's a lot of volume in here. I've analyzed what happened, right? And that was intentional. That this sweep above the high here was institutional, okay? And so you see how it just barely poked up above all these highs right before it got slammed down. You can't see it unless you have Addis, but if you look inside of there on Addis, there's tons of stacked imbalances at the high, the middle. I mean, just all over the place. There was a lot of buying. There's a lot of buying, and price got pushed down, right? So it was almost like buyers, and then you could see the limit orders kind of eating it up. So we got slammed down after that, couldn't go back up. Let me just check that other little candle there. Yeah, same deal. This candle right here is just full of buyers at the top, but no reward. So this to me looks more like a manipulation area where, bigger players pushed the price down. They didn't let it go up. So what I'm expecting is that we may see some defense here, and the fact that it's near the POC, which the price likes to go to, I'm thinking, you know, if we end up in here, could be a good way to snag a trade like that, you know. And I normally do like the 25 points, however, just like that. So that'll be the another one that I'm looking at. And it does, now that, you know, we have opened, it honestly looks even a little bit better now, because we would be kind of breaking the high, you know. So something like that would be very, very textbook. I know it doesn't look like it yet, but you'd see it, that it would be textbook once it happens, and then you'd say, oh, look at that, I saw it from a mile away. So POC just shifted anyway. We're down here. So old POC area, lots of volume throughout the entire session. You could see, you know, price spent a majority of its time, and a majority of volume was transacted in this little zone straight through here from yesterday till today. So that'll be the next area that I'm going to kind of keep an eye on. Makes things pretty easy, because we've got price trapped between these two areas right here, and we can make decisions at these areas. And I'm not too interested in trading in here, because look at it. So has anyone tried to take a trade lately?
We can't.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it changed.
You know what's interesting? The lows of the previous 2 days are pretty much in the same area
Yeah,
with the low of today.
yeah, they're all stacked. So mhm. Let's see what
That's
that
just a
looks like.
coincidence. There's no liquidity down there, guys. It's just a complete coincidence.
Same with the highs too. The highs are relatively, the last 2 days are relatively close.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Paints a little bit of a picture, huh?
So I just took a trade.
And it worked?
Yep.
All
It
right.
seems intermittent of who can log in and who can't.
Well, I've
Yeah.
been logged in since 9 o'clock, so
Yeah.
before the market has been open.
Let me try to log in. Nope, still can't log in. I guess I'm just not going to push any buttons until I can log in.
Yeah, I was logged in too. I mean, mine went through, but it still gave the error though. So I don't think you're actually getting a trade.
Yeah, because mine showed an error, but I still got in the trade. So,
There's only one thing you can do is paper trade. That's it.
and you heard what happened with Top Step with like gold and silver?
What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
They're restricting some of the trading with them because I
They're
guess so
limiting the
many people been
contract
bench
sizes.
lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why,
If
people
you're
are
on
making
like
too much money?
if you're on a 50K
Yeah, too much
account
people,
now, you can only trade like 5
5
micros on
5
gold.
micros.
Wow.
Which is still a good amount. I mean, if you're really trying to be risk managed and you're not just gambling through it, then makes sense.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like I'd have to imagine there's probably a lot of people who are gambling silver essentially, and if you blow your combine, you're out like $50, right? Whatever. But let's say silver goes in the direction you want. Cool. Now you have like 50,000 unlocked on an XFA, and you now have 5 max payouts in a row of 25K total. So the risk to reward, it seems like for Top Step was pretty bad, because if like people were just realizing that the volatility was so good that you could just churn the ROI on the prop firm game. So
You're exactly right. The same with Tradeovate. If I blow an account and I want to pass a new eval, I head to gold, max lots, 4 on a 25K is 4 4 contracts. Man, 4 contracts on a 25K account on gold. Wow. You're either
well, you mean 4 minis, right?
yeah, 4 minis, yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
still, that's huge. That's 40 micros, right? I mean,
That's insane. Yeah, for
and
gold.
what I'm saying is, you can blow your account fast, but I mean, you only need to catch 1 or 2 trades, And
Depends.
so like I can pass in like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
I can
Y'all down
blow a
with
count, but
anybody down with Tradeify?
Using Tradeify?
Oh,
I
I
have a
just
few
logged
friends who
in.
use it, but I'm not on it.
Guys, I
My
just
brother,
logged
my
in.
little brother, my little brother does. My little brother does. You can get daily payouts on there.
That's pretty good.
Tradeovate being stupid again.
Oh yeah. But
It's
you can
still
log
cutting up
in
on
now.
me.
Stupid Tradeovate.
Yeah,
I
I'll have to go
told you
try
guys it was the
Tradeify too.
devil. I told y'all it was the devil.
Yeah, but you gotta watch out, Michael, that like, you know, if just because there's like some benefits, there's probably a lot of like cons to it as well, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like I said, I've seen people using Tradeify for months and months at this point now. So like I've seen some of the pros and cons of it. To be honest, what I think is kind of funny to me is like when a lot of people talk about Lucid and Tradeify, they're like, "Oh, dude, you should get this prop firm.
Elusive.
One of the bonuses you get daily payouts." And it's like, well, I feel like daily
Right.
payouts is really only a good perk if you're trying to gamble. You know what I mean? If you're like someone that is consistently just trying to make a little bit each day and build towards a payout, you shouldn't need daily payouts for
You're right.
like an incentive
Yes.
for a prop firm.
So,
But it still is
so my
nice.
little brother. So my little brother uses Lucid and Tradeify, but he trades for so many people. He got like over 40 accounts that he trades on. So his clients are able to request payouts every day.
Oh, that's nice.
Like yesterday, he made 4,000 off across all accounts. He made 3,900 across all of his accounts.
It's like most people's month at this point. And if you're working a regular job in one day.
Yeah, he's cutting up over there, man. He just bought a brand new Tesla and got it wrapped. Got it wrapped and everything.
Strange thing is I can log in to Tradeovate now, but I cannot log in to TradingView.
Same here. Let me try to log in again.
It's the beginning of the month that you might have to renew your trading view.
Yeah, let me try that if that's
I haven't gotten out of TradingView, but when I try to go to Tradeovate from TradingView, it says that there's Tradeovate maintenance. It says it looks like
I get the same thing.
Okay, then that's Tradeovate maintenance. Like, man, that's already what, like 3 times this
Why is
week,
he doing
right?
maintenance right now?
No, it wasn't 3 times this.
Couple
Is
times this
it?
week.
Is it all this week? This is every day this week almost, right? Except for yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I know Monday was
At least a
terrible.
couple times, yeah.
Yeah, my add-ons
Yeah, that won't
TradingView
really-
is activated, so it's
Okay, yeah, it's Tradeovate. I've been seeing.
It's Tradeovate,
The
yeah.
reason I hopped in is I saw it in different groups that I'm in. Everybody was like, "What's going on with Tradeovate?" So I just came to check with the team, see how y'all are. So did anybody get a chance to trade before this happened, or has it been since open?
if you've been logged in before the problem, you could trade. Like if you didn't log out.
See, again, I don't like that. That sounds scary. I hit a button and nothing happened. Where's
Even if
Ken?
you was
I
logged
log
in, though, it wasn't going through though. I was still logged in, but I mean, my trades are showing up, but they still wasn't going through. Though, still getting that error.
Oh
Yeah. Oh
I
well.
don't think it's counting.
Hey man,
So, I don't
you
know.
know what though? We hit like every day. Sometimes they're trying to stop us. I put it. I think Tradeovate has heard about Ken and his team. They're like, "Hey man,
I think
we need to mess
it's
this up at open because they've been taking all the money."
Top Step trying to go at Tradeovate. Everybody was giving Top Step shit when theirs was going down. Now Tradeovate's finally messing
Tradeovate's
up.
actually.
I just took a trade on Tradeovate, the web browser, like Tradeovate, and it went through.
Did I hear y'all say you can log in?
Only on Tradeovate. It doesn't work on TradingView. They probably just haven't had time to link it up.
Tradeovate. Let's see.
No, my Ninja Trader is letting me log in, so hopefully that's a good sign.
Yeah, it did let me log in too.
Yeah, I'm sure Tradeovate just has to link up or whatever.
Where are we? All right, so we're at that one zone. Oh,
Yep, try now, because I was just able to log in TradingView and NinjaTrader, so maybe it's
I'm
back
gonna
up.
close and reopen it.
Zones, it's pushing through there.
And I'm in. Okay, it's all good.
Okay, I'm into.
All right, well, they fixed it. That wasn't too bad, huh? Mine's running a little buggy though. I'm gonna turn that off for now. I don't need it open. Wow, it's pushing. Pushed right through that zone too. So we might end up all the way
Tighten
down
one.
here. Look at that.
The Titan hit TP1. But the entry was so fast.
Yeah, I saw. I heard it beeping and a lot of volume in there. Let's see, Titans. Yeah. I like to turn that volume down. It's a little loud for me. Man, straight down to the second TP on that one too.
And when you have two volume levels like the 125 and the 100 that are close together, do you think it's going to go like right past the 125 to the 100?
Yeah, normally, like if they're clustered together, yeah. Normally, you know, just based on our own experience, it normally touches them all, you know. So a lot of times they'll push through to that other one. A lot of times that's what we end up seeing is all those zones that we have, they end up getting touched. So look, I didn't realize you were asking about that entry earlier. I had a screenshot of it. I had taken. That's what it looked like. So yeah, I had entered here, pushed down a little
Okay,
bit
yeah.
lower, and then ended up going back up. But you could see it in 25, 25.
Cool. That's even though it's kind of moving slow, it's kind of like you were saying when you do the round numbers and they're really close together, you know
Yeah.
that like even like seriously, one micro, like before I clicked a button, before I knew it, I was up $20. Boom.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's eating through these 25-point levels right now. You can tell it's volatile. When one candle eats through a 25-point level, you're like, oh, okay, I see. You know, because you could just compare it
Yeah.
to previous, like, you know, you look over in like this area, and all these candles are inside of 125-point range, like just moving up. All of them are all within one range. Here, you got one candle breaking almost through two levels at a time. Like this candle here is almost 50 points. Can get away from you pretty quick if you're not paying close attention to it.
Look at that, Ken. It came down to 108,
Uh-huh.
just above the 100. I think it came up a little bit. I think it's going to come back down and touch the 100,
Let's see.
the volume level that you give us.
Yeah, I need to put that back on because I was clicking around and I accidentally ended up deleting my chart I had set up. Let's see here. Volume levels. Where are you? Let's get those.
And once again on a sell, if I had
Oh yeah.
the quantum and TV blast on the 1 minute were just solid red for about 6 bars. Just could have held it, but didn't. That's okay.
Wow.
I'm
That's
like
nice.
you, Ken. I like to get in and out. Just take
Yeah.
that profit.
Yeah, I'm with you on there, man, because there's too much other stuff going on in the market. You know what I mean? You never know what could change it. It's look, you know what? Like, we could probably do what we are doing on a higher time frame, right? And it would be considered, somebody would say, "Oh, you're swing trading or this or that." You know what I mean? Like we're really just taking we're not really scalping, we're just taking trades, and it's I don't know, to me it's just, I've always been like that. Everybody always did a lot of the bigger risk reward. Now, while I get it, I totally get it, why you'd want to do that. I've just been better at always just being able to identify short little bursts, like, okay, boom, I can make my money right there. I could always, I could stay in less, get a little bit of money out of it, and have a lot more capital, and make it worth my time. So it's
I
easier to.
personally feel that if you're holding these long trades,
Mhm.
there's a couple things. Number one, every once in a while you get a 50-point spike against you,
Mhm.
can take you out.
Yeah.
And I think for the amount of times you hit a home run trade, in the long run, I think you're probably more profitable taking a lot of short trades, getting in and out.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I think so. I think so. I think everyone has their own little way. I try not to bash people that do that, because I get why some people do it. Some people just don't have the, either the time or they it makes them emotional or something to, to take trades and, be quick in and out like that. And I get it, so, to each their own. It is what it is, but this is how I like to trade. I like to get in, I like to get out. And I end up creating tools that are based around that. So yeah, I think automatically I kind of attract people that like that same style of trading, because otherwise you'd see every one of my posts online would have a big giant, you know what I mean? And then I would attract those types of people. So I'd assume that most of the people in here, they've seen, that we get in and out, right? They can watch the live trading. That's let's see what it's doing here. Yeah, man, it's like every time you hear that noise, you see how the market is pushing, huh?
So what's your thoughts on like taking some contracts off and then breaking even, and like leaving a runner?
I think that you should have a baseline strategy that's profitable to the slightest degree, and then worry about active trade management. Because if you're trying, if you're not making money, and making any kind of withdrawal, or if you can't say with certainty this strategy has an edge and I'm profitable with it, then it doesn't make sense to try to do any kind of active trade management. Active trade management should add to a strategy, not make it profitable, because it's subjective. You're going to do it differently each time. It is unique to the trader for the most part. So, you don't want your strategy's edge to come from your ability to actively manage the trade, because that's putting a lot of pressure on you. That takes all the weight of being successful and puts it on your shoulders instead of the strategy. So, you just got to think about it that way, like, um Active trade
because I've done
management.
it on. I was able to manage it and do it with forex, but it's just with futures. I haven't tried that strategy yet. I haven't tried to manage my trades like that yet. You know, because
Yeah,
it was much easier for me to do it with forex than futures.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is easier because it's easier because well things are different with forex. You know what I mean? It's actually a little easier to do it with forex. Look, we're at the midpoint right here,
Those Titans have been
yeah,
killing it.
dude.
yeah. Because I'll take like 2 or 3 trades and just close like 1 or 2 of them and just leave a runner
Yeah,
with. And
yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't switch my contract size in time to take the Titan. It was moving too fast.
Yeah, this is moving.
3 winners in a row.
I see that right there. So I was talking to Darren yesterday. We were on a one-on-one, and I made a different version of the trading zones where now it only shows the zone if it's in. I talked about doing this before, but I finally got it where it only shows the zone if it's in a higher time frame zone. So for example, I'm on a 1 minute and I've got the higher time frame set to the 5. Look at the difference between the amount of zones. Watch when I turn this off. So this is without the filter. This is every zone that it would normally create, just like this. And then when you add the filter on there, you see it gets rid of a lot of them. But I'll push this out later. But
What exactly? It's like the filter only leaves it up if the 1 minute zone is inside a 5 minute zone?
yeah. So if
So like there's
enabled,
confluence of the two.
right. So if enabled, lower time frame zones, current chart, only show when price is inside of an active higher time frame zone. And you can choose what time frame you want to use. So I've got, say, for example, the 5 minute, and I'm using the 1 minute. So, like these zones are only going to show up if they're inside of a 5 minute zone.
So it's a confluence. It's like a multi-time frame
Yep,
zone.
exactly that. We're pushing into. This is interesting area right here, I think. I continued to watch that stuff yesterday with that weird algorithmic looking market maker type of stuff, man. It went on for a while and then it just stopped, just ceased, and it was just normal after that. And just right back to how it was before. And look, you see, same symbol, but look at it. Look at the difference now. You see how different that looks from yesterday. I'm telling you, something weird was going on yesterday. Somebody was running a robot heavy on MNQ, and it was just working it.
No, the Asian session was weird too last night.
Yeah.
The Asian session was weird as hell. Like somebody was in there just doing anything. It was weird.
Yeah.
And the last, it's just setting up a new Titan now, but the last Titan was a buy.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't take it because there was 3 1 minute wick candles all lined up. What do you think of that? Kind of like a bit of a resistance level.
Let me look at it here.
You see right there, you got 3 candles that were.
I'm gonna put the Titan on it. All right, go for it.
Well, there was a buy signal,
but
I didn't take it because there was 3 candles right before it that all had wicks.
Yeah,
like a resistance.
So I'm actually buying right now on this. Well, I was buying on this. Wait, where'd my trade go? Hold on. Where did my trade go? I just had a trade on here.
But the buy signal was at the top of the wicks, right? Like the Titan, right?
Yeah, you're looking at it the right way. I see the rejection right here, right? So why, you're thinking about should we buy right here with all that wick rejection? I'm with you on it, but I also could see at the time, I could also see all these wicks down here, you know, so I was like, I was sitting here looking at it. Well, price is actually going up. Yes, there's wick rejections here, but we also had wick rejections there, and there was a fair value gap right here. And I was watching, I don't trade fair value gaps, but I was watching it because there's a lot of volume in this candle. So see, I talk crap about people that trade fair value gaps with no context, because I think it's stupid to call every single thing a fair value gap. But there's a reason why I think this fair value gap is better than every other fair value gap, and it's because there's verifiable imbalance and displacement and volume inside of this. There was a it was created inside of here. So not all of them are equal. So that's why I was buying. I was, you know, trying to buy and actually have my TP towards the wicks up here. But yeah, in regards to what you're saying, actually buying and expecting a breakout, no, I wouldn't be looking for a continuation. This is just like a little tiny, like, yeah, this is like, I mean, you could actually see it so clear. Sell,
Consolidating.
right? Sells and buys right here. And then the fact that it's just bouncing off this fair value. Now, and let me go see where my trade went, because I had a trade on and now I can't see it. Yeah, I know y'all had to have seen a trade.
There's been a couple Titans that have been
Oh, yeah, I got it.
that have kind of gone nowhere because of this little zone now.
Yeah. That's but you're doing a good job of noticing it. That's the main thing. See,
Yeah.
that's what I tell people on our one-on-ones, is because, see, normally what happens is real simple. You start out, you start trading, you're using the Titan, and all I'm asking you to do is just stick to the strategy. Don't do active trade management. Don't add this, don't add that. Don't take all your experience that didn't work before and try to apply it to it. Just trade the freaking strategy the way that I designed it, the way you bought it, and trade the strategy. And you can say, okay, Ken, I didn't try to screw around with it. All I did was follow the strategy because you said the strategy will work. Here are my results. If your results are not where they need to be, or either way, we're going to try to improve it. The next step is almost always location. And some of you guys that have one-on-ones know exactly what I'm talking about. We take it one step at a time. And then I say, okay, here's our results. Next step, we look at average win rate, average loss, profit factor, and drawdown. And so, did I say win rate? And so we're like, all right, we can see exactly what we need to get up. The first thing that we're going to do is start working on location, and you're already doing it, you know, by looking at the location on the chart. Now this is like this is like a mini range right here, you know what I mean? But yeah, like paying attention to the location where you're getting a Titan instead of just blindly following it, that's going to increase the win rate. I did win that trade. I found it. I entered at that was actually perfect. I got at 821. So see what we're sitting here talking about. 821 was, wait, what? 821. I mean, it's blue, so I can barely see. Oh, it says 215.25. 215.25, and it was on that red one. Yeah, so see, that's what I did was I entered right here as it. This is what I was looking at, and I was like, wicks, fair value gap. And I said, if I enter here 25 points, my TP is right up here. My stop loss is in the fair value gap below this wick low outside of the wicks. So, you know, I was like, this would be a good place to buy in, right? Like in these wicks at the lows. Again, location. I know this is tiny, but it's volatile right now. There's, you know, this little range right here doesn't look like much, but it's 34 points. These candles are, I mean, these candles alone are 50 points. So I got in here and literally got out like right on the next candle. Yeah, this is quite the little range here we got. I'll be right back. I hear a TV on somewhere. I want to turn it off. All right.
I guess they don't want us to trade this morning. So on that note, so I did 2 pre-market and I did 1 at the beginning. So I don't did my 3 this morning.
Very
So
nice.
and then I
All
did,
good.
so I'm trying to pass another eval. So I did 1 trade on that this morning as well. So I'm done. I think I'm good.
All right. Yeah, no, I'd be done too.
Back to
So
them.
you got your so you took your trades on your funded account, and now you're also working
Yes,
on another performance account. I mean another eval account.
correct, correct.
All right. Don't overwhelm yourself though. All right. Keep it
No.
keep it cool.
One time. If
Mm-hmm.
I once and I'm out.
You see how if you see how trading less it keeps your mind sharper, and it's a little easier to to keep track of things and not get so overwhelmed knowing that
Yes.
when you go into it knowing, okay, I only need a few, you look at it a little bit differently. You're like, all right, let's make sure this is the right one, all that good stuff. Good.
Yeah, it's better than me chasing it.
Yeah, man, I was scared for those people yesterday. If one more person comes talk to Antoinette, she might just flip out.
Yeah, I would have had to yell at them yesterday, tell them leave me be and let me trade here.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all have a good day. See y'all tomorrow. And can we have a meeting tomorrow as well?
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll be there.
Okay.
All right. I see we trying to get a breakout with Titan right now.
With how much this is just ranging and how fast it is, would you for sure call this a no trade range? You think, or are you trying to take a high like a short at the top of these wicks?
I'm not really too interested in trading in here. I'd rather see what's happening right now is perfect, because if it keeps doing what it's doing right here right now, then it's building it's a build up, right? It's a build up. And so what I would start paying attention to is the outer ranges. So if you'll start watching the outer ranges here, let me go to here, like this right here. See, now these are the areas to trade right there, the outside areas. So like when it does this is where I like to start looking for trades. So here, or even and again, this is in the middle of, this is not a key inflection zone, but if you're to trade anywhere, I'd rather be looking for trades in these types of areas instead of trying to figure out, the range. Like, it's easier to look at this and say, oh, okay, like it just attempted to break out. And now we ask ourselves, what is happening, right? It pushed out, What am I on? A 1 minute? It pushed out. Now, what is the behavior, right? Is it, are prices accepting up there? Is volume increasing? There's a lot of questions that you could ask depending on how you got your chart set up and whatnot. But you could ask yourself, is the behavior different, right? And so far, right, we've got one candle that closed up above the range. Now this candle's making a higher high. Right now is more of an observation time. Right now, if you have order flow, you'd be looking very closely right now to see, are we getting stacked imbalances up there? Or do we see sellers coming in, right? If you're thinking about selling, then you want to see those signs. If you're thinking continuation, then you want to see buyers being aggressive and you want to see price actually moving up, right? So I can see that we have aggressive buyers right now. I see stacked imbalances at the top, and I see that price isn't pushing up yet. So you see if, and let me pull this over here so I can show you. You see all these stacked imbalances up here? These are buy orders, right? All buy contracts, and there's a lot of them, right? There's buying right here, right now, right? And so to me, what I'm looking at is the delta is pushing up and price is pushing up. The behavior is different than it was before. So to me, I don't know. This looks real. I would think that price would continue. So that's where I start trying to look at, if I'm not good at, first of all, I'm not really good at continuation trades. So this is where I would probably not do anything to be clear, but for somebody that is a type of trader that wants to trade breakouts or continuations, this is a sign of strength. What we're looking at, we have aggressive buying and prices pushing up. So so that's, it's better to trade those areas than to try to be inside of here trying to figure out, okay, is this the low or is that the low? Let the low be defined very clearly, and then you just trade whenever it breaks the outside. And you know what kind of a trader you are. You're either going to be a reversal trader or a continuation trader. Most people have a preference. They're either good at reversals or they're good at continuations. I happen to be good at reversals. So see, I never seen sellers step in. I saw stacked imbalances, so I was like, hey, I'm it's looking good, but I didn't see sellers stepping in. Now I see aggressive selling, right? But you could see it in the delta. It's actually red. There's more, but that's obvious at this point. So at this point, you ask yourself, is this worth the risk or not, right? This would be a 50-point setup if you entered at that candle close. If you were trying to sell it, that is. If you had your stop up above the high, it's 55 points. If you entered midway, obviously that's more like 25 points. And then you could look for a trade back into the range if that's what you're looking for.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
So just
looks like we're seeing a.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say for a second it looked like we saw the delta flushing out a little bit. But now it looks like we're seeing buyers step back in a little bit.
There was a 25-point setup right there, though, right off of 275, right back down to 250. See, 275 to the tick, and then right back down to 250 it went. I didn't trade it, but there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
I'm gonna get with y'all tomorrow. Have a good day.
Yeah. All right, man. See you later.
All right, everybody.
Yep. Take care.
What's this line? Oh, this is yesterday's low. Yeah, so you see how the reason is because you see how price didn't spend very much time up here, but it spent a lot of time here. That's why I like to trade these areas. It doesn't mean I'm always going to be right, but at least I'm going to be right or wrong very quickly. And that's what me and Matt was talking about earlier, is I don't like to be in trades. I like to trade in areas where price is forced to move and move quickly, because when I push the button, every single time I push the button, I'm expecting that price is about to take off and it's going to go in my desired direction immediately. That's the way that I trade. I feel like I've timed it correctly, the time, the location. I think that it's all perfect. Have you ever taken a trade and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to take this trade, and then you sit back and you're like, this will probably take a while. No, you click that button with conviction. You're like, bam, I'm in, let's get it. Especially on we're trading a 1 minute chart. we should expect that we're only going to be in this trade for 1 to 3 candles most of the time if you're going 1 to 1. So that's not going to happen if you're trading inside of obvious consolidations. You've got to pick areas where price will, oftentimes reject quickly, and those it's easy. It's also what I talked about, how I showed you guys an easy way to find time-based rejection zones, which I actually have a video I need to upload on that time-based rejection. I showed you guys using a TPO chart how you could find those. I can't remember where I feel like I made a little video on that, or else we had a webinar, one or the other. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but you can look at it. You can see it yourself. I mean, look, time spent, very little time here, right? Like there's a wick, and we could see that price spent very little time here. So when price came back to there, we would expect the same type of behavior. And that's what we ask ourselves. Oh, I'm pointing at the wrong chart. We ask ourselves right here, it didn't spend very much time here. So when it comes back here, we would also expect that it doesn't spend very much time here. Now, look at, let's say if we had no other information except for this, we look at this and we say, oh, wow, look at that. Price didn't spend very much time at these prices. And then when price comes back into there, we are asking ourselves, is this behavior the same or different? And it's different, right? So this is different. We have to ask those questions, right? You have to ask those questions because it's going to give you context for your trade. If it's the same, great. Then we would expect the same type of reaction. If it was different, then we would expect that. And before, here price was moving quickly, right, in these areas, or especially wick areas. Those are the easiest ones to find, are like the wick areas, the highs, the lows, the extreme points, right? Normally when price revisits those areas, they don't spend a lot of time there. And and that's, I like to focus on those areas. And again, I'm saying this, but you're going to be right and you're going to be wrong. But at least you're trading the right area. You can't be wrong on the area. You've found a spot. You said, okay, you know what? I can see the behavior here, and I want to participate if the behavior is the same the next time. And you're not going to know that until price approaches it. And then you're just going to have to watch it, and you're going to have to see, okay, what's happening here? Is the behavior the same? And it's an unfolding story. So it's not like you're not going to look at it and be like, oh, yep, it's the same, or it's different. It's almost candle by candle. You're going to see, all right, we're back in this area. Previously, we had sellers. Okay, I see sellers coming in, or I don't. Okay, there's buyers. Reading order flow is a fleeting process. You know what I mean? It's something that's happening over time, live, and it's a skill that you have to, if you're going to trade order flow, then you just have to be able to keep up with it. And again, you could do that on every single candle and drive yourself crazy, or you could say, I'm only gonna drive myself crazy at specific places, and I'm only gonna focus on areas where I can see that the behavior was rejection, right? And so I guess the easiest way to put it into words is I'm looking for areas of rejection, not acceptance. When I'm looking to take a trade, if it's a reversal trade, I wanna see it. Now that means we have consolidation. If we have consolidation, this is a behavior. I can see that behavior, and I can also classify the behavior at the top. Price spent very little time. Where you ask yourself, where did price spend most of its time? Well, that's going to be obvious. It's going to be running throughout here. That's where price spent most of the time. Where did it spend least time? Up here at the highs, right? And that's obvious. It's a fact. So when price comes back here, we expect the same type of behavior. That doesn't mean we're always going to be right, but we could at least do that. That's something that's in our control, is to be able to decide, okay, I'm going to be patient enough to only wait for price to come to these areas and to trade these areas. And then I'm going to take a trade. And if I lose that trade, then I accept that, and I will wait until price comes to another area. Not, let me try again. Oh, let me try to reverse. Let me try to do it differently. This and that,
Right. That's the hard part too, for sure.
That's where I see, based on reports, everybody kind of,
now that I've read this thing and you talking about these points, I find that I usually will only take 2 or 3 trades because of that.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, if you hit on the first one, you're gonna be up. Like, you're not gonna be up a little bit either. You're probably gonna hit your goal.
Right.
I mean, like, look at that point at the bottom. Like, if you're aiming for that, that's one. Like, do you really need to take another trade?
Right.
But now I see where 1-2 trades is like I only need to take 1-2 trades, and then like tomorrow, if it doesn't hit the point or I miss the trade, like I'm probably still pretty up.
Right. Yeah. You
So
know.
I'm seeing where the whole 1 to 2 trades thing has definitely come back to be like, hey, Ken was saying this the whole time. Man.
It's just easier. It's you know what, and see.
It's easier to
What
see it for yourself. I'll tell
what's
you that.
crazy? What's crazy? You know what's crazy is that you see. I know you had some changes in your day-to-day life recently, but you see how because of those changes, you had a goal that you wanted to be a successful trader, and then you had some changes in your life that changed your schedule around a little bit. Maybe you didn't have as much time to trade anymore. You've probably been taking less trades, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, wait a minute here. You know what I mean? And so you know, it's one of those things. Everything happens for a reason, you know. And so it is though, man. It's you trade less, trade smaller. You can always get more capital, always get more money.
So what do you see now, Kenny? We got buyers stepping there, or is it selling?
Right now we have aggressive
Is
selling.
it all seller?
Yeah, we have aggressive selling right now, and this box doesn't. The size of this box doesn't matter, you guys. I copied and pasted these. I don't have a trade sitting here with a stop loss and all that. This is strictly identifying the outside range here. So you know, I'm just trying to show you all that. And so yes, the behavior. Look at what's happening, right? Look at what happened before. We were rejecting. Here, we're closing below, closing below, closing below. If you have access to Delta, you go look at Delta and you'll see aggressive selling is happening right now. So, you know, the behavior changed, right? The behavior most definitely changed, and it changed up here, right? This is where whatever happened in here, then it happened up here, and now this is happening here. So it was a behavior change, right? The buildup, the probably manipulation, and then the
Yep.
actual move. But you'll
Yep.
never
That's
see
what
that
it
if
is.
you'll never see that if you don't, you know, watch it and ask. That's why you got to ask the question: is, you know, who's in control? What's going on? Is the behavior the same? Little things like that. When you ask those questions, you believe it or not, your brain is looking for answers. You know, it'll start putting things together for you.
Hey, Darren, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, I just saw in the profits that you took a one trade yesterday into Asia. I'm just curious, was that a 5-minute zone trade or what was that?
No, so in Asia, and I'm only trading gold in Asia. I just find that NAS is not quite as. I mean, gold just is moving all the time now.
Yeah.
And so it was a
Be right back.
it was a 1-minute zone. So this is kind of like a secondary strategy that I'm at the moment I'm only applying it during Asia, but I basically look at 1-minute zones that are in confluence with the 1-minute and 5-minute quantum. And then
Okay.
what I'm finding is because of the way it's moving, I turned on the quantum trailing stop. And so that one I happen to just look, because I typically like, because a lot of these are going like 1 to 4, 1 to 5, like it's moving. And
Yeah.
so, but 1 to 5 was above like the high. And so I was long on that trade. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to push it. So I basically exited at 1 to 4. And it turns out that the trailing stop would have taken me out at around 1 to 4 anyway. So that's what happened. So it just kept going. And I
What
somehow
size
managed to just,
was it? How many
I
micros?
think, oh shoot, I didn't
1 or
forget to
2?
look. Yeah, it was 1 or 2 because it was like, I was risking like $100.
Yeah, okay,
So,
cool.
yeah, so it worked out. And the thing is that so yesterday was Tuesday. So Monday there was a I
Candle.
think the first one was like a 1 to 5. There was a 1 to 2. There was a 1 to 1 based on all the trailing. Like it was crazy. And then Sunday was the same way. I didn't trade those 2 days. So I was sick and stuff, but Sunday there was like at least 1 or 2 of those as well. And they're big moves. I mean, gold is swinging like $100,
Oh yeah.
$200 at a time right now, which is ridiculous. That used to happen like in a day, like or days, like it
Or yeah,
just
days or even weeks.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, back in the day, it was weeks for sure. So it's just crazy. What I mean, the other day was I think it went up 500, down 400, up 200. Like it was like, what is going on? Gold, it's the volatility there is crazy. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's what I'm
Okay.
doing in during Asia.
Well, if your
And
strategy seems to work out, it'd be cool if you made another video about that.
yeah, no, I'm happy to do that. I'm also really curious too to see with Ken's new enhancement
Yeah.
to that indicator because
I'm
we've
really
been talking
interested
about
in that zone, multi-time frame
yeah.
zone.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, based on what he showed earlier, it was like, holy cow! There's a
It
ton of
clears up the
like
clutter.
it clears it for sure. And when you're on a like, it's one thing on 5 minutes, not a big deal, right? Because it's like you don't get a ton of them anyway. Most days, I mean, sometimes you get them piled on top of each other, and then you just got to step back and wait for it to all clear up. But that's usually if it's just kind of like ranging around and not moving. But 5 minute, yeah, you don't get a ton of them, so it's not as big of a deal. But on a 1 minute, yeah, you're getting zones all the time. So to be able to filter out and just look at the ones that are in confluence with a 5, that's cool, and I think
Yeah.
it's going to
Oh
be
yeah,
really
cool.
effective. So yeah, I love the zones, man. I think they're going to be
Was
my
that on
bread and
an
butter.
eval or a PA?
That was on an eval. It was on
Oh,
eval,
okay.
which was nice because I had kind of dropped down a little bit into drawdown, and it pulled me back up into the green.
Nice.
And so, but these are new. Like I just got a few of them last week, maybe a
Did
day
you
or
go
two after the new
50K or 25?
50. Yeah, I don't know why I keep sticking with 50. I know that
It
there's,
works
it's just,
for you, then that's
yeah,
fine.
I think, and honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter a whole lot other than you just need to be careful with your risk, right, between the two of them. But it's not like I'm risking $200-300 on a trade anyway. I mean, I'm good with $100, which on a 25K, that gives you like 15 losers before you have to
Yeah.
work, before you're going to blow it. So
The bottom line is it's all risk manage. If you're using proper risk management, it's all relative. The account size doesn't matter because you just scale accordingly.
true. Yes. Yeah, I agree.
But if you're gonna YOLO, then the 25K is the easiest, fastest. If you're gonna do that way.
For sure.
Man, you
For
can
sure.
if you're gonna YOLO, I mean, you can still YOLO with a 50K and get it done fast too. You just got to
You
trade gold or
can.
silver.
You
You
can.
just
I'm
got to
just
trade.
saying
Yeah.
the one thing I like with the
Either way,
25K though, it's a 1-to-1 for your trailing drawdown and your target.
Yeah,
I think
that is
I don't know.
nice.
I just think the 25K is a little too stressful because you just can't risk that. I mean, you got to risk very little.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes even 1 micro is on gold.
Oh, I can't. Well, I'll be honest with you. I haven't been able to trade the 5 minute zones on gold lately. Because 1 micro
risk.
is literally like at least 200 would be small. Like I'm talking $300-400 on 1 micro. It's just too much. And
Have you ever
so
tried silver? Silver's pretty crazy too.
well, I haven't. I should take a look at it. I have to
And
find
I
a
don't know
micro.
what it is, but like the movement,
Silver's worse.
like if a
So
1 micro, the movement 1 tick, I don't know what it is, but I think it's even more than gold.
Yeah, I
it
heard that.
is.
I've heard you guys talk about that before. Yeah, that's crazy.
But if you want to
looks
pass your eval fast,
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like that
Pass
insane
or
green candle 5 minutes ago, by the way, was from Trump tweeting
oh
about the
really?
deal with China. Yeah, he said he had an excellent telephone conversation with the president of China. So, I mean, there's a 90-point candle like in that time.
Yeah.
oh wow, yeah. Jesus. That's crazy. Yeah, so even Nas has got some big movement these days. It's just the
Well,
market's
during the
just
first couple
crazy.
hours of open, yeah.
Yeah. Some of these candles are nuts.
Ken's been gone a while. Usually he's not gone that long. Oh, I could hear his volume level.
Yeah. Yeah, so even like there's a 5-minute zone printing on NAS right now, and 1 micro is 100, a little over $180. So even that's been kind of crazy.
It was a 5-minute one on Go. It was 400 or something.
Yeah,
But
that's
it just hit
exactly it.
TP.
Well, that's the thing is that it. I go back and forth because I don't want to take that kind of risk, but at the same time, it's kind of all relative because you still gonna have the same win rate, right? And so it's like, do you just take them and roll the die? I don't know. It's just tough. That's why I like doing the Asia with the 1 minute because at least I can risk like $100
Yeah.
versus 300 or 400. So
It's too bad they don't have nano contracts, 10-cent contracts that you could play around with, you know?
well, I
Yeah,
was
mini,
talking with
micro, and nano.
well, yeah, I was talking. Yeah, when I was talking with Ken yesterday. I was like, I wish that I could trade, tenths of a micro, right? Like,
Yeah.
kind of like what you're talking about. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Even yeah, if you could do that, that would be kind of cool, like just for testing stuff out or whatever, or do 3/10 of on a gold trade or whatever, right? Like, could still make some money. Oh, Ken's back, but we can't hear him.
Yep. There I am.
There we go. So Ken, I did something different today.
What'd you do?
Well, for the first time ever, I set a on my settings a daily profit target. I hit it and I'm done.
Wow, how's that feel?
Well,
A little
when
weird.
I look at the chart, I'm still like, I could take this trade, but there's something actually kind of calming about I'm done. That's it. I'm in profit. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's how it is. Yeah, now you could just enjoy your day and then do it again. You know what? And look, some days are gonna be wins, some days are gonna be losses. Someday you're gonna hit that loss target, and some days you're gonna hit that profit target. But you see, it's not up to you. It's just you traded your best. You hit your
Yeah.
you hit your target or your limit, and you do it again the next day. And over time, time will tell if you're profitable or not. And if we work
Yeah.
together, we will guide you towards profitability. That's perfect. That's awesome
Well,
to
I
hear.
hit my profit as well, so thank you. Ditto on that. I'm not touching anything anymore.
Very good. This is what I like to hear. This is what success sounds like.
I've found a lot of times where I can make a lot of money and then I get one or two bad trades just through lack of discipline
Yeah.
that wipe that out. Um, so I know if I set like a small achievable goal, yeah, there'll still be losing days, but I'm probably going to reach that goal a very high percentage of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah. You will. I mean, that's the thing is like, look, the strategies we're using for the most part, they win more than they lose. So like that's what I'm saying. If you just set a profit target, you know what I mean, and it's very likely you're gonna have some losing days, but you're going to win more days than you lose. It's just when you try to take it into your own hands and demand, no, I'm gonna win today. Like like okay, this is only 90% of traders fail, but no, little old me is going to demand to be profitable today. Like like it's my birthright, and so,
Yeah.
you just gotta, that's what I say constantly is just let the strategy take care of it. You're just a button clicker, you're just a button clicker, and you make sure that things stay organized. You're like the supervisor of the strategy. I'm glad to hear that.
How would you set it up?
If you have Tradovate, you can set up your max profit target and loss limits in the settings.
And it will auto liquidate you. If you're in the middle of a trade and the trade spikes in your favor or against you, it'll auto liquidate and you're done. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really good to have that profit target for the consistency rule for Apex for sure.
Because that's that's what I was seeing was people, they'd start out good. They'd start out good most of the time and they'd be in profit and they'd end up turning that day red, and it happens over and over. I mean, you look at as many reports as I look at and you see the patterns clearly. These are all things that we all already know, but it becomes like facts when you look at as many statements as I look at. I mean, dozens and dozens of, and these are all different people, and it's not like all of you guys are secretly talking to each other. Like, okay, like this is human behavior, and it's just how it's just how people function. We did not have too much action. We had this initial little push. Look, 8 o'clock done went by. I didn't even think about 8 o'clock. It was right here, or 10 o'clock. This was open. Just ranges, little ranges.
Maybe we'll see another big move at 120 again. If it pops back up from there.
Yeah. And I got all these hotkeys set up on Addis. I wonder if TradingView has. I'm sure they do have some hotkeys. I'd love to assign some hotkeys for TradingView to make things a little quicker and easier. Like on Addis, I've got at least 3 hotkeys that are just right here directly on my mouse. Where if I want to draw a box, I just click one button and then boom, the box is there. What are we getting? Some volumes, bigger volumes. We doing 140. Let's see, JRFX, Top Step. I don't know if they're doing that to try to I don't know if they're doing that to try to limit people's ability to make money. It's a fact that margin requirements have gone way up on gold and silver, and when margin requirements come up, it literally requires more capital to trade that one asset. It's just more expensive. So I don't know, they may just not. I'm sure it has to do with, I would assume, I mean, because they're Top Step, they're verified that they have traders on live accounts, right? Like they're like, how a lot of people are questionable about Apex, like is anyone ever actually on a real live account? But Top Step, they're pretty verified in that sense, aren't they?
They are, yeah. If you take 5 payouts in a row, you're automatically called up to live. But also like my friend Brandon, he intentionally blows his account after the 4th payout so that he can go back to 5 copy traded sim accounts.
Right. So maybe because of Top Step being verified live, this is really happening type of stuff. Maybe that's why they're doing it, because we ain't heard nothing from Apex. Like Apex isn't like, oh yeah, we're doing the same thing or da da da. It's like, so maybe that maybe it's because they actually have traders on live accounts, many traders on live accounts, because they could with margin requirements go up. That I monitor margin requirements on a normally every couple weeks, but the last couple months I sometimes I check it every other day. Changes in margin requirements typically proceed. Well, or they typically CME will silently increase margin requirements without saying anything to anybody if they expect lots of volatility. So it's kind of like a leading indicator. If you see margin requirements going up for NASDAQ or for, gold or for this or for that, and nothing is happening, you know what I mean? Like you just, one day you check it and you're like, oh, wow, these are up, 15% or whatever. Well, that's typically because they foresee something coming. And so now if something shocks the market and they're forced to change margin requirements quickly, then that can cause a totally different type of situation. And so by them, I can't go into explaining the entire thing right now, but I just don't have it in me. But if you would have seen, like they continued to, as they were trying to slow it down, like as gold or as silver was going through the roof, what was this, a week or two ago? They continued to raise margin rates over, like on a daily basis, over and over and over again. That was a fact that was continuing, which meant that it just got more and more expensive over and over and over again to actually trade. The higher the price, the more expensive it was to trade it, the more money you needed to trade it. So it's a good indicator to watch for sure. Okay, now let me try this. That one.
Okay, Kenneth, I have like a very sincere question here. So today's the last day for the sale of Apex or the 50K or whatever.
Yeah.
Considering that I've been doing good this last week, do you think it would be a good idea that I just go ahead and get another one and trade them at the same time, same size?
If you can,
Or just hold up.
all I can say is that if you can hook it up as a copy account and totally just forget that it's there and just continue to do what you're doing. Now, do remember that by adding an additional account, that means that you're going to have to trade on Tradeovate because you have to use their group trade. So just know that if you're not
grouping it. Yeah.
Right. Are you trading on Tradeovate or Trading View?
Yeah. No, Tradeovate.
Right now. So
Yes.
You're placing all, okay, so you're already placing all your trades on Tradeovate. Okay. So
yeah, so I can just get another 50K that's an eval and just copy it.
Yeah.
Group it.
Yeah, if you want to do it like that, I don't see a problem with it. Just don't let it just act like it didn't even happen. You know what I mean?
Pretend it's not there because I'm going to focus on the original one first.
Yeah, good. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That is it.
Okay.
Yeah, you just keep doing that, and then what'll end up happening is, obviously I seen your message that you're on track to pass your eval by Valentine's. So by the time you do that, you'll also have some progress on your on your new account, and then and then that'll also the other thing is, once you get the performance account, set that goal. Like I said, just set a goal of, all right, let me go make 5,000 or let me go make 10,000. Don't worry about taking no payouts at first. Just get in there and set a goal. I'm going to make 5,000. Yeah. And then before you know it, you're also going to be having good progress on your second account that you've added. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds bueno.
Nice.
So I just want to ask you a quick question, boss.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at my CVD like right now, and like, so the candle's going up, but there's no CVD.
Right. So you mean the candle's going up, but CVD isn't like green and going
CVD
up?
isn't doing nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking at mine. I see a little CVD on it. It's not anything crazy.
I mean, when that candle started getting that big, there was no CVD. That CVD just popped up.
Yeah, look at it
cumulatively,
right? It's kind of flat, right? So what you're looking at,
Yes.
so remember, CVD is not a signal. It doesn't tell you to buy or sell.
Not a signal.
It lets you know who is being aggressive,
There
and
we go.
it gives you an idea of who is in control. So you know how a market moves when orders hit the market aggressively, buying or selling market orders. When that happens, it eats liquidity. Well, and that means that price will go up. So if price and CVD are in line, then we know that buyers or sellers are in control. If price and CVD are not doing the same thing, then we know that passive liquidity is in control. Who has passive liquidity enough to control the market? The big guys. Okay, so that just lets you know who's in control. So it gives you a different lens. It gives you your right. If you know that the market is in execution mode and that buyers or sellers are in control, then you know that those are more like trade what you see happening, right? Okay, buy, because it's, the market is doing what it should be doing. Buyers are buying and market is going up and liquidity is allowing it. The market is performing the way a market should. But when passive liquidity is in control, then that means that they're engineering some type of a setup. So you're going to look at it through a different lens. At that point, you're going to put on your glasses that say, okay, let me look for subtle signs of institutional intentions, right? Wicks, fake outs, stacked imbalances, right? Silent absorption style of trading. And so, it just gives you, you're going to look at the market one way or you're going to look at the market the other way. And so most of the time, unfortunately, the market is being guided and controlled by the market makers, right? And that's okay. That's how the market always will work and has worked. That's their job. A lot of people think that market makers are like some secret organization that's sitting on a desk at CME, and it's not. That's not what they are. The market makers provide liquidity, and so they make money in different ways. They make money on the spread. Their job is to provide liquidity. They are professional order flow traders. They see the institutions placing trades, iceberg type of trades, and different style trades, and so they're a professional at it. And I'm sure they have crazy tools that allow them to visualize this data in a crazy way. That's what I'm trying to create. I'm trying to create my own version of what they would be using to read the order flow, and then they go in and they provide the liquidity, and they'll, and it goes so deep, but you don't have to let it get complicated. All you really have to do is just know you have to be able to identify the behavior, and that's why I'm always talking about the behavior. It takes time.
You gotta learn.
What?
Oh, I was just saying, I gotta learn.
Yeah, I see that.
I do low. Okay, so this is what I wanted to point out that I'm noticing. So like at 802, that's aggression. Okay. Aggression in CVD, aggression in the price. And then it stops, and you can see it stop in the CVD. Same thing at 837, leading up to that, that's aggression. It's moving quickly down, and then it just stops, right? So then when I was talking about right now, before this move right now, it's moving down, but in CVD, there's no aggression. It's slowly moving down.
Yeah.
So what I notice is when it's giving that aggression to a new low, and it stops, compared to what I was just talking about, how it moved, it was moving down, but there was no aggression. So I didn't really care.
Right.
I guess is the difference. Like right now, there's aggression.
Yeah.
Price is moving fast and CVD is pushing down. So now we've stopped. So now I want to see if CVD is going back up. Is price going to move with it? Like even if like right now would be a perfect little 10 bounce.
Right. Yeah. I mean, shoot, these are 10's easy. 10 already happened. These are 25-point levels that are on my screen right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a quick little 10 bounce so easily.
Right.
And then I got a little green zone forming. Give it 45 seconds. And then yeah, so now it looks like those other ones.
Yeah, and another thing you can do too is like pay attention to this. Like, look, we have a low on CVD here, and oops, didn't mean to open that. So we have a low here on CVD, and that low belongs to this right here, right? And so now look, you see here we were breaking through, like we were breaking through this low right there with this candle, and look at CVD, right? It supports the breakout, right? We can actually see, oh, we closed below this low, and we closed below the low, and we have aggressive CVD. That's a good sign that seller, and look at the candle, how the candle closed. Now, I know not everybody has Addis, but you could also look, I mean, there is tons of sellers in there. Look at the amount of sellers compared to buyers, and are they being rewarded? Yes, all these sellers that are entering in here are in profit. There's massive amounts of sellers. They're enjoying it. And boom. And so now we also see this low here. Well, when price reaches this area, when price starts to reach this area, I'd start paying attention, in which we did. You were looking at it, right? And that happens to be down here. So you can use these, as like these little CVD levels like this as areas to focus on as well. But the main thing is like, look, we could clearly see our lows, right? Well, we could see here, let me put another one right here, right? We had the low. Oh wait, wrong tool. We had the low right there, right? And we want to look at it, whatever, this one's a little bit bigger, but you see, bam, it's very aggressive push down below there. And you probably could even see the sell. Yeah, look at where the sellers came in. I mean, look at that candle. That's a lot of selling right there, and they're actually being rewarded by price pushing down. So yeah, you're calling it right. This was more engineering, and then this was like the release, right? This was the aggression and the reward. So in these areas here where you're seeing the price and CVD not matching up, you're right to look at that and say, okay, I need to not act. This is observation
I took
time.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I took that buy.
Oh, you did right here? Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I made what is it, 200 off of it real quick.
Yeah, it was a good flash right there.
It just, like I said, I'm noticing you're telling me to look for the pattern, and now I'm looking at the CVD and seeing like there's times when it's moving down.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool and all, but I'd rather see this long from like, let's see, from 749 to 803. It was just pushing
Yeah.
right to the low, and then when it got down there, it stopped on CVD and it stopped on price.
Yeah.
I took a buy. I made $200. So I took. Let me see how many trades I've taken today. I'll get right back to you.
All right. Let's see how many. What was this? 30 seconds left.
Ken, I have a question for you. Do you compare like, I guess like just like kind of like off the cuff, like the numbers from like candle to candle of like, okay, so this candle had like, let's say it had like minus 1,000 delta in terms for sellers, and it moved like 10 points, and this next candle had minus 2,000 delta, so twice as many, twice as much selling delta, but it also went down 20 points. You know what I mean? And so, like, do you mentally kind of see that as like the same effort to outcome ratio, or is that something you quantify, I guess, off the fly? Because I feel like you kind of have to in that way, because you see like let's say you see tons of selling contracts and prices swarming down. The next candle you're gonna see a ton of selling contracts, but price is not moving down. Maybe it's moving down like a third of as much as it did in the previous candle. Is that something that you kind of like take a look at, that ratio, would you say?
I wouldn't say that I don't know if I have enough time to pay that close attention to it. Maybe if I was to sit down and like go back and look at it, but I'm looking, the thing that I'm looking for primarily is I like to see divergence, which Cedric, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but there was some divergence right down here. Hold on, let me close this right here. Okay, so there was divergence in starting from here to here. So I think he said he took the trade right here. If you look at CVD, this is making a lower low, but CVD had come in and it was actually going like this. So here, this was a lower low.
Exactly.
That's a good sign. You know, when you can actually see the divergence in it. This one happened so quick. It was barely there, but you could see it. I don't always look at like I'm not analyzing every single delta, you know, every single like how big it is, how small it is. They catch my attention, right? If I see a big delta bar, I'm like, ooh, wow, look at that. You know, that might do something, you know, but I don't, you know, I don't base my trade off of it. I keep it really simple, you guys. I look for the highs, the lows, and I know I want to trade there, and then I'm adding in the order flow is just adding kind of like confluences. Like, all right, I know what I want to see. I'm waiting for price to come to this area. I see price going to that area, and then I know what I want to do at that area. I either want to buy or sell. So as price is approaching that area, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, am I seeing any divergence, right? Am I seeing any divergence? Am I seeing anything that, would allow me to, add confidence to this trade, because if nothing's lining up whatsoever, then I may skip the trade. Like, let's say if prices are coming down towards a level and I'm thinking about buying right here, and I could see prices are just delta bars just printing one after another after another after another, and it's just coming down, 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 down. And then all of a sudden, it hits a level and we still have just solid red delta. I could see that there's aggression. I can see that they're winning and that they're being rewarded. And I may decide, all right, I'm gonna wait and watch that. And I'll watch that one candle as it comes to that low. I'll watch it. What I'm looking for are those things that I teach in the order flow course. Like, these are things that could instantly change my mind to where I say, okay, now I'm okay with the trade. And that would be, for example, if I start to see, right, we have aggressive selling, it's coming down to the level, and I'm like, ooh, I don't want to front run that because the sellers are very aggressive. And then sure enough, price pushes straight down into that level, but then bam, it hits that level and it stops moving down. In other words, it stops making new lows. It's never going to stop ticking, but it stops making new lows, and I start to see stacked imbalances appearing at the low of that candle. Then I can know, oh, okay.
Wait, can I have a quick? Can my orders are not canceling on Tradeovate. They're not. None of them are. I can't. My stop losses just did not go. That's unbelievable.
What is it?
I keep hitting exit all positions and cancel when it's not doing anything on Tradeovate. It's just.
Oh no, not
right
again,
now.
man.
Oh my goodness, man.
Well, they should.
There's no working it.
They should fix it if it's an actual issue with Tradeovate. Try to refresh Tradeovate and see if anything changes.
We went down right to our second level, but then bounced off of there.
I would take a picture first before.
It said like I got like, I don't know. It's like it hit my stop loss on my one account, but I didn't on my other accounts.
Oh, you were copy trading.
Yeah.
And so on the main one it closed, but on the other side it was like, yeah, right. So now you had to go in and do it one at a time.
I think he's using TradeSync, right?
Yeah, I am using TradeSync too.
Oh, okay.
But oh man, it's okay. I had some good profits, but I should be able to stop this before anything gets too bad.
Are you? So you're one by one going through and canceling right now? Oh, you might.
Yeah.
Do you already have a group trade set up on Tradeovate or no?
I do. Yeah. Maybe I should just cancel from there.
Yeah. Log in and press cancel all. If your group trading is.
Oh, well, it might not be. It's probably not set up for my PA accounts though.
Okay.
I had it set up for my evals.
Well, I won't ask you any questions. I'll let you focus on saving that.
That was a nice move right there, boss.
Yeah, it was.
The 909 to 910 candles, man. You would have got it on that second one.
I actually entered too early.
I'm done though. I'm not trading. I'm not trading no more. I posted my results. I took 3 trades.
Nice.
Man, I'm gonna love if I can keep this up, man. I can't wait to show you my trading thing, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, that's what I'm talking about, Cedric. That's it right there.
That's dope.
That's it right
Yes.
there. But yeah, I'm really seeing what you were talking about. Like, I don't know why. How did I always end up in the middle of this crap when it's clearly obvious where the edges are at?
I don't know. Yeah, if you
I
can
don't know
actually
either. But what you were saying earlier, like, oh, I bought it and it went down. Okay, now I'm gonna sell it and it went up and I'm gonna buy it and it went down. Like, why was I doing that when
Yeah.
this is so much easier and
It's
prettier? I like
right.
order flow.
Yeah, it takes a little
Look at
while
them
to,
wicks. 1, 2, 3 wicks. You had 3 chances to get into that trade
Yep.
with good, risk management.
Yeah.
I think your biggest risk was like 15
Right. Yeah, and
from any of those 3 candles.
and the other stuff I'm working on too is really going to structure this. I'm not going to say anything else about it, but I've based on all the feedback I've gotten from everybody, I've all the stuff that I'm working on right now, is I'm trying to make it super structured. Like if I can nail this down where the way I want, man, it's going to be smooth because you're going to be trading a specific numbers, very specific contract sizes, very predictable, very just, you do this, you do that, and a lot of it's going to be like, y'all already know I use these round levels often. So, it's going to be all based on that same thing. So it's going to really help a lot with the people that are using order flow. It's going to help a lot because order flow is like, you're just kind of out there, order flow. You're not really, it's not really an indicator. It's not really a signal. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to add some structure to it, because with order flow, you could, it's kind of, you're just out there in the open, the market is there and it's doing its thing. And you just need to find spaces where it makes sense to take trades with the order flow. And so I'm finding that using round levels seems to work really well. And so I've done 10 points, 25 points, 5. I've even gone down to 5-point levels to try and see, how small we can get these setups so that we can, make it available for anybody and everybody, whether you're trading a 25K account or whatever. That's what I'm thinking.
All right, love y'all, man. I'm out. Post
right.
my trades, boss.
All right, sweet. I'll take a look at them here in just a bit. See you
Have a
later.
good one. I guess I didn't need to panic too hard. I mean, I guess if it had hit my daily loss limit, the trades would have probably just auto liquidated anyway.
It would have,
But
yeah. And that's another good thing
yeah,
about having that set up.
I'll have to go just make sure I have I'll go set up the copy trade on, or like the group trade on TradeOvate, just so that if that happens again, I can, because I like using TradeSync because it allows me to place my orders on TradingView. But I was getting like messages from TradeSync saying like that TradeOvate was saying I'm being API limited, like I'm placing too many requests, and I've only taken like 8 trades today or something. Like not even like only just a handful of trades, and so I don't know how I'm getting API limited.
Yeah. It was probably maybe it was what, I don't know, man. We've been having some weird things today.
It's been kind of weird for sure. But I mean, I kind of have some wildly. I have some wildly different PL on some of my accounts because like I was manually closing some of them while the price was moving.
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna take any more trades today, honestly, just because it's just to avoid like any more bugs today, and we'll just come back tomorrow. So
yeah, I know how that is, man. That's stressful when you got all 20 of your accounts hooked up and then something goes wrong. I have one screen just strictly dedicated to like a nuclear reaction. Like if some things start happening, I got this one chart that has Ninja. What is it on my phone? It's got NinjaTrader, It's got trade elevate. I have everything right there and open where I can try to pull the plug on anything as quick as possible, where I can just click all the buttons to close, close, close. And yeah, I know how that is. I've had a couple scares like that too.
Yeah, so I'll make a new group. I'll call it PA group.
Oh, we finally, what is this line? Oh, nothing. Delete you. It's a nice little Titan right there. Titan trade.
Okay, I set up my other Apex account, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. Y'all have an awesome day, and we'll see you mañana. Hopefully, we don't have some more bugs tomorrow.
All right. See you
Hopefully
later.
not.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
I'm with you.
Y'all too. Bye.
Bye-bye. See, do we have any more volume zones down here? I'm probably about to hop off too. Let's see, we got one more volume zone down at 25,000.
25,000. Okay. I think it's good as well. You mentioned earlier, like the whole, like there's that one guy that's out there saying I'm gonna be green today, like the market owes him money, like it's his birthright. Because believe me, like I want to be freaking green today, but I gotta accept, like, man, just some technical errors gonna happen. At least the loss could have been way worse. I could have lost my PAs.
Well,
Imagine that happened when Trump tweeted and I was in a short, it would have just gone up 90 points. Like, so
take it from me. I see a lot of statements, and this is a lot of times when people first start, and especially if they're not listening to me in the beginning, and they're just trading, they just think that, like I said, like they think that the market owes them, like they've seen too many YouTube videos or something, and so they don't have red days. They have green days, and they have I blew my account days. That's it. And it's the craziest thing, it's I've looked at so many statements that are just like that, and there are no red days. It's either I was green or I blew my account. And if that is you, if you're hearing me say that, and that you're like, oh yeah, I totally understand that, then that's where your problem is, right? And you just got to set those limits. Like, you got to set the limits. You got to set the limits, and just remember that it's the strategy's job to be profitable, and it's your job to be in control. It's like you could have a like awesome race car, but if you're it's just a race car. It's going to perform the way it's going to perform. It could win, but you're the one that's in control of it, and so you could crash and burn. Do it the right way. What's that noise? Are we going down or up?
Certainly.
Let's see. Had a good amount of volume in this a couple minutes ago in this other candle here. Did we find a bottom? Or what? Let's see. I don't know. All right. Well, yeah, guys. I was thinking, we might end up down here. This is our last overnight low from a while ago. I don't even know how long ago. It's way, way, way back here. But it's an overnight
it's
low.
like 2 weeks ago or something. It looks like,
on the 20th. So just recognize and realize where we are. right now. I mean, look at the chart. We are here, right? And this is a pretty significant pullback right here. So I would say at some point we'll probably end up sweeping that low. It'd be kind of strange to not sweep that low after coming down this close to it. So yeah, this is a 15-minute.
Are those mostly swing traders that are holding liquidity for 2 weeks at that point, you'd say?
Do you mean like just holding on to positions overall?
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying someone has like pending orders there, you know, because of that prior low, like 2 weeks. I mean, like have they been holding those orders just as price has moved away and away and up and up and up and up, and then now 2 weeks later, price is coming back down. I mean, I guess I'm just like, to me that feels like such a foreign concept because like we're trading on prop firms that require us to close our position at the end of the day, so. But I mean, like I know that people do swing trade. You know, they'll hold a position for like a few weeks or whatever, and so, I guess it's just like I'm curious how like relevant that liquidity is because it's 2 weeks back compared to like us hitting a low from like yesterday's low. You know.
Right. I don't know who it is, but I know that, you can actually look, it's a lot of like asset managers, leveraged funds, what's the other ones? Commercial, like no, in a typical regular scenario, which I don't think we've fully caught up yet because of this whole government shutdown thing, but you can normally see who is holding what on the COT report. So, but when that government shutdown happened, that kind of changed everything because then all the reports stopped coming out, and now so they've got it. It's messed up right now. Basically, it's just messed up right now. So yeah, so that's just how that is right now. But you could see, I don't know exactly who it is, and I'm sure there's traders that, like, I see people on the online that are holding trades for a long time, but these people don't really matter. They're just small traders just like us. The people that are really holding on to the trades, the for long term, they've got big money, the ones that actually matter. And if you look into like the auction market theory and stuff like that, it'll kind of break down a little bit about, how to. I mean, I don't even know if I want to recommend that you go and look into that because see, it's almost, yeah, it's almost like the more you start digging into the internals, the more complex it gets, and so you almost, it's almost like that saying where it's like ignorance is bliss, because when people first start out trading, it's simple. It's, oh yeah, buy it, sell it. Oh, I'd sell it here, I'd buy it there, right? It's very simple. They don't know anything, and you wouldn't believe how many people have great beginner luck. But then they start to their luck. What happens is they encounter a couple losses because it's inevitable. You're gonna lose sooner or later. And then what happens is that's where they add their first layer and they say, oh wow, I think I might have to learn a little bit more about this. And oh, okay, maybe that happened because of support and resistance. And then they say, okay. And then they do that for a little while, and then that doesn't work. And then they say, oh, it's because of, this is a bear flag or a bull flag, and then they just, over time, they just keep adding and adding. And then you could get where you're talking about, where now you start going into, well, who's actually trading this and why, and no. I mean, you could make it so complicated. Most people's path, if you were to track it, somebody that actually makes it in trading, it starts out really simple, it gets very complicated, and then it goes back to being very simple. What'd you say?
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, it goes back to being simple, yeah.
And that was my exact path as well. How I started trading was super simple. It was I called it the easy 1, 2, 3, and it was on a daily chart. And I just looked for a simple reversal pattern where, it would be like a pattern like this: 1, 2, and then if I seen this happen right here on a daily chart, I know these are facing up, but this would be a reversal pattern. And on a daily chart, the structure has shifted. So I would then be bearish. I'd start looking for sales. I would do that on a daily chart, man. You know you don't get very many trades, but it was very, very simple, you know. And so, and that's what I really needed, was simple, because I was new. And then of course I complicated it, and luckily I didn't know any of you guys during my first 1 to 2 years of complicating things. I did it all. I mean, I'm really good on a computer. I'm really good with research. I'm a lot like you in terms of my thinking and kind of like engineer style mind. And so, I mean, I spent a better part of 2 years figuring out the market, and I made it very, very complicated. Um, and ultimately, over years and years, I've simplified and simplified and simplified. And the main part of it is because over time you realize that you're gonna win and you're gonna lose. How complicated you want to make that process is completely up to you. You know, you could lose in a really complicated way, or you could win in a really complicated way. Either way, the outcome is going to be the same. And that's just how it is. And so I've found that trading less, trading at specific points instead of just anywhere random, you know, just a couple, everything I teach you guys is just a combination of my own experience over 10 years of, you know, of trading. And so ups and downs, lefts and rights, it hasn't always been a beautiful path, you know. And I've gone on and off too, you know, like I've actually diminished my edge before, and had to in a sense restart, you know. And but the one thing I could say that has kept me in the game the longest is I understood early on that I had to have, and you know, when I tell you guys take 100 trades, that comes directly from what I was taught. When I first started trading, I sought out mentors, and there was no like trading groups as much like there was now, and you wouldn't want to be part of them anyways. And so I reached out to people. I'd look for retired, you know, hedge fund, anybody, everybody I could. I probably sent 1,000 messages to individual people, bugging them, trying to find out. And out of all the information I got from people, one of the things that stuck with me the most, and luckily this guy mentored me for a while, was he told me, you can have any strategy you want, but when you decide that you're going to trade a strategy, you have to, and I mirror his words, because it's the only thing that actually made me successful. And he said, you pick a strategy and you stick to it for 100 trades without deviating. And I said, no, you know, because I'm trading on a daily chart. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I did it.
It's gonna take me 6
Yeah,
months.
and it did. But luckily, I was running a whole nother business, so I was like, whatever, you know. And I did that, and I seen where my edge was, and where my edge wasn't, and I applied that to my next strategy, and my next strategy, and my life has been 100 trades at a time since then. Anytime I'm trying something new, like I'm working on stuff with you guys right now, trying to release new stuff, I got to test that stuff out. Now I'm going to let you guys do it with me, but you know, but that is the one thing that made the difference, was when I accepted, which there wasn't a lot of influence around at the time. So, you know, I was lucky, because you didn't open up Facebook and see profit shots, you know. I had 90 friends, literally 90 friends on Facebook, and I knew them all. So I didn't open my Facebook and see a bunch of MLMs and charts and things like that. I never seen a chart on Facebook, actually. Not in one single time had I ever seen somebody share a chart. And so it just wasn't, I didn't use the internet like that. And I didn't go on Facebook like that, and for entertainment. And so yeah, so you know, I did that, and then I applied that to the next strategy that I used. And I can't tell you how many times I've wasted my time on 100 trades, but was it really time wasted, you know, because I did what I, you know, I did what I did. I looked at it and I learned it, and you know, and then I would take it and then take it for 100 trades. And once you start doing that consistently, I think that automatically you have to start kind of enjoying it, because you know, at some point you're going to have to stop chasing your tail, you know. And you're lucky, Michael, because you haven't been doing this for too long, but some people in here, they've been doing this for years, and they go around and around and around, and they're actually in a battle with themselves. They're blaming everybody, you know, the charts, the strategy, this and that, but it's just about, like, if you will just understand
Go
it right
slow
now,
and just
go
take it
slow.
seriously and just stop being tired. Like, I think for me, like, I mean, like, even on my short journeys here so far, I've already had some stupid mistakes where it's like try and go too quick, like just Dunning-Kruger effect. I think I know more than I do,
Yeah.
despite how new I am. I mean, I'm a freaking tadpole in this, you know.
Yeah.
And but what's grounding me, it's especially like days like yesterday, like the day, like, I mean, like I did end up taking a couple more trades yesterday than after I posted in profits. But like the first trade I took, like, made 55 bucks on it. It's like, boom, that's exactly what I need to do for the Apex payout parameters. Is I have
Yep.
5 of 8 days, be at least 50 bucks profit. That's on 20 accounts. It's $1,000 right there. Like, it's like you can do that for how many trading days? Like, I think like you can do it for like 40 trading days, which is like 2 months, and make 30 grand on all those
Yeah.
accounts. Like,
Yeah,
that's
what you did
plenty
yesterday was
money to pay
perfect.
anyone's bills.
What you
So
did
it's
yesterday
just
was perfect with the 50 bucks, man. You saw how you could do that. You could make $50 a day pretty easily, especially using micros, you know.
yeah. I
Make
mean,
at
like,
least
I'm at
50.
the point now where I'm trading like I'm trading like at most 3 micros on a trade, and that's if I'm like actually able to get like a really tight stop on an opportunity.
Yeah.
So no, you're not wrong. People, like, it's you become your own worst enemy in this.
Yeah.
You have to at some point get like stop being you just kind of say like, I'm tired of my own bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of me stupidly starting the week off trading Asia Sunday night and entering Monday morning red for no reason, and then just all that work I have to do on Monday morning just to get back to green could have been green.
Yeah.
So no, definitely. And it's funny. I was even telling, like, I try and go in the sauna every day at the gym and like use it as a time with no music to reflect
Yeah.
on my trading. Mostly just a matter of like, did I, like, not like so much on P&L, but like, did I follow my rules? And
Right.
like, did I actually have a good day of execution? And I was even telling myself yesterday, like, you're not gonna do this overnight. It's gonna take time. I even said to myself, like, Ken did not become Ken overnight. Like, it took him time to
Oh yeah.
become the trader that he is today. And I think reminding myself of that makes me like it just reinforces that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And I don't want to end up being stuck in a loop of like, oh, I've been doing this for years. And I've been changing strategy week after week, or, you know, over leveraging or just being silly. So yeah, just gotta. I mean, on these. I mean, even after the mistake today on these PAs, I'm like a 25% of the way
Right.
towards the payout. So we
Yeah.
just gotta keep just slowly moving up the staircase.
Yeah.
So today was a little bit
The
setback
key.
with the technology, but now I have the group set up to hopefully mitigate that in the future.
Yeah, and
So
keyword you said there is slowly. Just take it slow, because look, you're either you're gonna win fast, or you're gonna, you know, you're gonna win or lose fast, or you're gonna win or lose slow. Just take it slow, because the last thing you need are a bunch of emotions and all of that kind of stuff. Just, you know, and that's why I tell people, and I've said this so many times, but if you can just try to have fun with it, like, instead of making this like a stressful stress, like, you would never, like, why do people put themselves through this? Like, they would never put themselves into stress every single day for no reason, but they do it with their trading, and they're doing it to themselves over and over again. If you can instead say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna have fun with this, and don't hold it underwater. You're literally drowning it. Like, look, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then okay, go do something else. Not everybody is designed to be a trader. If you don't have the emotional control and impulse control, then it's okay. You're just, you need to go do something else, but don't don't make it be like, you know, you can't force things to happen. And if you're not having fun while you're doing it, then, you know, then it's going to be even harder. So, like, you've got to try to be a little lighter with your approach, and just say, hey, you know what, I look forward to learning the skill. I know I'm going to learn a lot of new things, and I'm excited for it. and just try to be open to whatever happens. Like, I'm going to try this strategy, and if it works out, that's awesome. If it doesn't work out, that's okay. I can try another one. I'm excited to try another strategy, and just be in it for the long run. And like they say, I know this is super, like, everyone says it or whatever, but if you'll just try to enjoy the process instead of rush the process, and instead of force and and make it exactly the way you want it to be, or the way you think it should be. The universe has plans for you. They're just not always exactly the way that you think it's going to happen, and that's why you got to be careful setting expectations. You just got to be careful in general. That's one of the things that I struggle with working with people is their expectations. And it is, that's why I try really hard to make people not set expectations, and instead just commit to the process of confidence building. Because if once you set expectations, some people, man, they really set expectations. They're like, 3 trades a day, they're going to look exactly like this, it's going to be exactly like that, and it's going to be very structured, and everything is rigid, like you're putting the market in a box, and it's got to perform exactly the way that you expect it to perform. And then when that doesn't happen, it's throwing you off of track. It's like you had an itinerary for a vacation, and everything falls apart right as you get to the cruise ship or whatever, or whatever. Like, you start freaking out. You're like, oh, this wasn't part of the plan. Da, 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 da. Well, that's because you're not the one that's in control, and you're along for the ride, and so you gotta have a decent strategy. That, it doesn't even have to be a good strategy, just a decent strategy. And you oh, let's see here, hold on. Some stuff is happening.
I will say, do you see that 938 candle? I took a buy at 25.055, and I sold at 70, and I sold at 75. Took a really easy 20 points there.
That was a good trade, but almost a lucky trade.
It was a little bit. I did feel a little bit lucky on it for sure, but I wanted to just be. I wanted to just. I mean, I only did 2 micros, so I wanted to just get in and out.
Yeah. I see exactly what you're talking about. This candle right here. You entered and it went up and touched it. I was selling. I was selling out of there, and I just took profit at 25. So that's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
I'm curious
funny.
how it's gonna react here. Maybe it sweeps this like 2 week this low from 2 weeks ago.
Did we touch the low? That's why I was trading down to there. Let me look.
Yeah, it's at I have a box
yeah.
drawn from like
we're-
25,000
We got a
to
volume
25.
level. Yeah, we got a volume level right there at 25,000. So, and then look, we have officially swept all lows. Like, we're there. We've done it. We've cleared out the whole thing. We have volume levels. That's it. But there's nothing down here at this point. Now, I bet if I probably go out some time frames, maybe some levels will come across. Maybe not.
Looks like Delta's moving up a bit in terms of for buyers.
Let's see. We got.
After this, unless I'm calling it a bit early.
Let me look. It's no divergence at all. This is what I've talked about. I don't trade these. This is I like to let it slow down. Let it slow down. You could front run these, you know what I mean, but don't like. These are the type where I'll take a stab at it, right? Like, I could take a stab at it while it's right now, right, and put my stop right below the low, because it's it would be a super tiny loss at that point. But but I like to let it slow down. Let it slow down first, and then I like that drawing I showed you. This is the exact situation right here. You see how you're looking at it and you're anticipating a buy, but it's actually just dropping right now. So
yeah, it's
right
continuing
now,
to go through.
right now,
Yeah.
price and delta are in line. This is execution. We need to watch and see if that picture changes here. So, and the easiest thing to do is actually just wait for it to actually stop, and we don't even see a green candle yet. Here, look, I'm looking at the wrong chart. I'm on my other screen. There it is. We got that next volume level right down there at 950.
950. Okay.
That's yeah. I see one at 950. That's the next volume level. That noise is so loud. I'll figure out how to turn that down. It makes my gives me like a shiver every time because I'm thinking that it's like a trade-o-vate noise. But that noise, like I said, you guys, if you're hearing that noise, it means that kind of like above average volume is happening. So that's what that means.
I think I have your stream maybe muted.
Oh, okay.
It's not loud. It's not loud at all for us, so
Okay.
it's pretty light.
Sweet. Well, guys, I'm gonna hop off. Traded long
Well,
enough.
before you leave, I just want one more question. I mean, you see how we have three candles here of buying delta on MNQ at least, and then 3 of the last 5. But we're seeing it's like we're seeing some divergence, are we not?
Are you looking at a 1 minute?
Yeah, on the 1 minute MNQ.
I'm seeing delta moving down right now. It's cumulatively, it's moving down. This candle right here has green delta in it, right? I could see more buyers coming in right now. So like I'm seeing
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 941, 942, and this candle 945. But you're right overall that like so overall like you are more paying attention to like overall CBD trending down, and
Oh,
not so much like little spike. But you see those like little spikes of delta.
Yeah, I see because I forgot you have the delta divergence indicator on your chart. So you're seeing every single candle that a bearish candle that has bullish delta in it or whatnot. So like you may be seeing more signs of divergence than me, but yeah, I'm looking at kind of like swing lows and swing highs when it comes to the delta. But I am seeing what you're seeing. I mean, I'm watching this candle push down on positive delta right now. So we have what we have right here is aggressive buying, but price is being forced down, which means that it's passively being pushed down right now. This means that the big guys are like in control. You have people buying right now, right? And again, you never know who exactly it is, right? Like you could have 2 different big commercial, you could have this could be a battle of the titans right here, and you just don't know. You could have Chase Bank selling and you could have Goldman buying right now, and and that's what we're seeing, right? And what we want to do is see that, observe that, and ask who's winning and who's in control. And what I'm watching is price push down on what was positive delta. So the sellers right now are winning, and that's just how powerful passive control is. I mean, it's almost invisible. It's almost invisible because your eyes aren't going to be able to see that quick enough. Your eyes are not.
I think it's crazy to me as well, just how like dynamic it is. Like it's almost as it like it's like price is like almost like a herd of sheep, and it's like the sheep like moved to a new area.
Yeah.
And it's like the shepherd is already just right there, ready to move the corrals.
Yeah. See, now they like to do this too, right before here. You see how it's come down to this level. Now it might smack right down to there, but if it stops right here, like this, and comes back up to here,
for buy,
I would normally, this is almost like a guarantee that it's going to come back down here and touch this low. They love to stop it right before a volume level right here, but remember that's because what's happening right here is these are updated daily. So what I have is these are CME levels. What is here are traders that may be saying they may be betting that price will stay below this level options wise, right? They may be betting, 120 contract as an example, right? That price stays below this level by Friday of this week, right? And so if price is below it, great, they're in profit, right? That bet is winning. But when price starts to approach these areas, they become at more risk, right? They become exposed, if you will. And so they'll start hedging. They'll use futures to hedge against that. So, if price is above it, right? Or if let's say if they were wanting price to stay below it, well, as price gets closer, they are more at risk. So they'll actually start to buy futures to offset and hedge that loss, which of course then makes price go up above it. Now they will hedge this to stay as neutral on their risk as possible. And that's why I like to that's good to know and whatever, but that's why I like to use these areas as targets, because a lot of times when price starts to accelerate towards them, you're going to have like you can look up like gamma hedging and things like that. And again, don't allow this to be complicated, but you can look it up and you'll see why I have these volume levels and why they work good as targets, because they will it's not an option. They don't have a choice but to hedge. They're not just going to say, whatever, I'll take that loss. These are $1 billion, you know what I mean? They're going to hedge. And so having access to these volume levels and knowing and these are updated daily. Every single day I update these. So this is nobody else has more up-to-date information because it's not available. This comes directly from CME and everybody gets access to it at the exact same time. And so nobody has more access, nobody has less. That is the positioning. And so they absolutely will have to trade when price comes to these levels. And so that's why these are they're one of the most overlooked things that we have here in STS, just because a lot of people don't I don't know what they do, but they just they're overlooked, but these are very, very good targets when you understand how to use them. And if you use them as targets, not so much support and resistance, because you see, I kind of expect that price will start to hedge at these. So we wouldn't want to try to get involved in trading at these levels, because we're most likely going to end up in consolidation. We want to use them as targets. And that's exactly what we do. So you can see this data became available really last night. Last night, this data came available. So you see, if I back this thing, say last night, probably around, let's just say, just to be safe, I'll say 2 a.m. my time, our time, I should say. This is what the levels looked like. And so at that point, we had already touched this level. We had already touched this level. These two levels have been traded and things have happened. So that gives us, going into the next session, that gives us focus where we can say, all right, well, we have these levels here and we have these levels here. Very likely price when New York session opens, it's gonna go to some of these levels. These have already been traded through. All this, everything I'm talking about has already happened, and it's been happening. And so a lot of times once the market opens, let's see if I can make that faster, it'll start working towards those levels. You'll see how that looks. Ooh.
Okay.
Hold up, let's see here. Had a lot of volume just come in on that last candle, by the way. Yeah, but you see how price is interacting with these?
Yeah. No, I see that. When it comes down open.
Oh shoot, I was on my other chart. That went way too fast. But yeah, you see what happened at open. Right, you seen what happened at open. We had already traded these levels. Boom, boom, boom. What are we doing? We're trending down. We already swept the highs of the Asian session, right? We swept the highs and it got slammed down. I shared that, and well, actually I didn't say anything. I just shared the picture. Got slammed down. New York session opens. First target most likely going to be right here, right? And that's exactly where it went. Then from here and then to there, and here we go. We're just eating through these levels until we are where we are now. And we'll do the same thing again tomorrow. Let's see. Are we gonna move? I think we find a bottom here. Let me look. Delta's shifting over. I don't know. I don't want to get re-engaged in the market. I'm gonna hop off. So hopefully I've answered your questions, Michael.
Yeah, no, that helped out a good amount. So thank you, Ken. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Just talking to psychology as well about like, going slow with this. So thank you so much
Absolutely.
for your time.
You're welcome. I'll see you guys tomorrow. What is today? Today Wednesday or Tuesday?
Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday. All right. Well, I'll see you guys in the morning.
All right. Have a great day, Ken.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.